sure. Everyone's silence.
And I am bringing
Okay,
up
Squishy.
this.
So what you can do is when you bring up your collection, there's the zero.
Excuse me.
You have the 0 through 7+ gems, and then to the left of that, there's a little gem with a Hearthstone swirl in it. You see that?
Hang on. I'm pulling up Twitch at the moment.
I gotcha.
I don't see that I'm in the game.
Are you
go
talking
into
about?
in your collection,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see it has like a number. Those are your friends. Right above that, there's a Hearthstone swirl. It's like a big gem. You can click on that, and it says all sets, basic, classic, reward,
Okay.
Maxaramas, goblins.
Mine
Blackrock.
doesn't have a swirl. Mine has a little book on it.
Oh, interesting. Maybe I don't. Why does mine have a swirl and yours has a book? That's very strange.
And let me just...
Oh, I know. Okay, my bad. It is a book until you choose. Like if you choose
There we go.
reward.
Oh,
it
you
turns
want-
Oh,
into a
yes,
gem.
you're right. I'm on all sets.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. If you, yeah, so
Like, well,
it
there's
has
no
a little
swirl
hat.
on my screen. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
So I can
What?
I can move my camera over if that would help because like it's at a weird cutoff with the bookshelf I see on Twitch.
Yeah, go ahead and move it over a little. That's fine.
Okay. No
Wrong
wait.
way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's hard to tell when I can see the whole thing. So is that better?
Sure.
I have lag on Twitch, so I'll have to wait 5 minutes and see.
Yeah, watch now. It's going to move to your wrong direction right now.
Yep, there we go. Yay, that's better. I'm good with that. Except I still have, dragon coming out my head. Let me tip it up just a little
A dragon coming out of your head.
bit. No, we are not.
Well, what I
able
was
to
going
show
to say
that.
was you can choose. Let's go with. Let's start with.
Well, you said
The
common.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's start with
Okay.
the basic set. Let's start with the basic set and
Type
best
the word-
looking card art in the basic set.
Well, here's the thing. She didn't have all the cards.
Nope.
So,
So she doesn't have. So let me ask you this. So you don't have all your heroes to level 10 yet?
No.
Okay. All right. So you don't have all the because that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get all the basic cards.
well, she can come in
All
here
right.
real quick and look at them.
Well, she can also click crafting.
Yeah.
And look at them that way.
But she has to click on each one of them to reveal them.
Yeah. Because they're.
And do we want neutral or do we want to do a class?
Or no, Oh, she can't click crafting. That's right. So best looking basic neutral card.
Okay. Common.
All mine are golden. All my basic cards.
Basic.
Now, what
And
would you say,
commons.
Best Cities?
Commons?
Oh, you want to go basic and common? That'd be tough because they're two different lists.
No, you can actually
Are
search
you
that
talking
way.
neutral?
Okay, so push your button that says basic
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and then
got it.
type the word common in the search.
Ah. What do you know? My list didn't change.
It
Yeah,
didn't look
no.
like it changed, but it did. There's no epics in that list.
So what? We're just picking the nicest looking one out of all these?
No, there's no commons in the list either.
You're right.
They're all basic cards.
Never mind.
Because you click basic, they're all basic.
Never mind.
Those are the free cards you get.
It's
That's
a
why
good thing we're not streaming yet because that would look really silly on. Oh, wait.
You're the one that started.
I
the
didn't
Twitch
see
stream.
anything.
I'm just kidding. I knew you were streaming. Okay, so
All right.
common, neutral. I mean, basic neutral cards. Best looking.
Let me see. This is difficult because they're all golden for me. So
Oh.
like
They're all
there's-
animated.
Yeah, so it's like I'm like, man, that one looks really good, and then I look at the regular version. I'm like, no, it doesn't look good.
No.
But that one looks good, but it doesn't. Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be hard to pick.
Yeah, they're all ugly.
Like the Stormwind Knight looks awesome golden
Yes,
because
he
he's got the
does.
the snow
Snow.
blowing around. Yeah, he looks like he's in a snow globe.
He looks like he's in Raleigh.
Say yeah. Same with Gnomish Inventor.
Stormpike Commander's the same way too. And Boulder Fist Ogre, all in the snow. That's interesting.
This is gonna be tough.
Is that their easiest animation? Snow.
I guess, yeah. Everyone's in snow.
I'm kind of leaning towards Ironforge Rifleman because it looks interesting, you know, like it tells a story. But he was also in the
Okay.
snow, so
All right, I got mine.
what's yours?
Can't tell you.
It's probably a golden ooze, isn't it?
Hey. Come
She
on
learns
now.
well.
Yes, I do.
Come on.
Wow. I really don't like many of these cards.
Me neither. Why'd we pick basic?
What?
So Maddie ran us through a level 55 Greater Rift.
Was that what you were doing with Maddie just then?
Oh my gosh, we died so many times. I was like, I feel like Vestidius.
Oh wow! Ouch!
But I
Wow.
ended up getting 11 Paragon levels.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I'm almost 300 Paragon. Booty Bay Bodyguard.
Did you pick yours, Joy? I mean,
Squishy.
Squishy.
You don't know Squishy? Oh, what are we doing for news? Do we have any news this week?
Nah.
Okay. No
um,
news.
I think so.
Okay. Which one? I can type in the description for you.
What do you mean?
So which one?
Well, do you have the show notes up, Squishy?
Oh yeah, you don't have show notes up.
No, but I can.
It's probably a
So-
good idea to have the show notes up while we're doing the show.
In your
'Cause
email, click the box in the top right corner. Not of the window, but of the email window. There's a little 9 square.
Done.
Okay. Because we talked about earlier how she couldn't find them. She doesn't use it that often, so.
I gotcha. You're gonna have to start now. We're gonna ask you to be putting stuff in the show notes.
Sure.
Related to the show.
Yes, please keep it show related.
Well, you know, dragons are show related.
Dragons
Especially
are
squishy
show-
ones.
Exactly.
That's
There you
right.
go.
Speaking
Where are
of-
you putting it? Top.
Yep, there you go. You're getting there.
No, I'm not. Top 3 of the week. There we go. Got it.
Speaking of squishies, got to make you a Spo. Can you make squishy a
are you saying a mod?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, let me log out and log back in as LOTI.
I'm already logged in as that, and it won't let me.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Let me see. Yeah, let me see.
Oh, I'm on wrong. Never mind. Haha. I'm a mod, too. It's like, why won't it let me make that?
Yeah, it won't let me. Were you on the wrong account?
Yep. That's okay. We'll do it later. Okay, let's get this party started.
Let's do it.
No, I'm not nervous at all.
What? You were here last week. What are you worried about?
Well, what's there to be
You
nervous
guys are so
about?
unpredictable.
Okay. Well, did you read the show notes?
Yes,
Okay, then you're good.
sure.
You guys should step ahead of me.
You wrote them.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you
No,
didn't.
I did the show notes this week.
I did write a document, though. It's not going to be used this week.
Oh,
Yeah, he was working on next week's show notes. All right, so we moment of silence and then go for it.
Yep.
Let's just wing it. Let's not even look at the show notes. Just go ahead and just stare at our cameras and hope that something comes to us. Yeah, nothing. I got nothing.
Okay. Silence.
Oh, I missed this last week.
Well, now you're talking over it. Yeah, I got it all working again. You're listening to Legend of the Innkeeper, the Hearthstone podcast for casual players.
Ah, you knew you. Pull up a chair by the hearth.
Welcome to Legend of the Innkeeper. I'm Fastidious.
and I'm Squishy Dragon.
And I am Espo.
Greetings, greetings. This is week 2 for Squishy.
Yay!
It is. I thought it was funny that she said she was nervous right before we started recording. I was like, "Well, you were here last week," and then I thought I had to think about it first. I was like, "Wait a second, was she?"
Wow. Glad I was so, missed.
Yeah, I know,
Well,
right?
I love her answer of why she was nervous. She
Yeah.
said, because you guys are so unpredictable.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's talking about. Not at all.
Oh my goodness, how funny!
Well, anyways, moving on.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
look at that.
Oh, look at you. You are related.
She's
You
been
are
trained.
related.
I have been.
Yes.
I've been trained
She
well.
has been. Right before we went live, or right before we started recording, we were talking about what we're gonna do for our top 3, and she says, "You're gonna choose Golden News, aren't you?" And I was like, "Oh, the Golden News."
You don't know how many times that story gets told around our house.
Dude, that story is epic. That story is. It will go down in the Innkeeper. The
So it's a
Innkeeper tells that
legendary
story.
story.
It's legendary.
Yes.
Legendary.
And if you're wondering what we're talking about, you should go back a few episodes and listen. Essentially, Ariaman played Espo and beat him with a golden ooze, with an ooze, and he ended up getting the reward after that game, which happened to be the golden ooze. So it rubbed it
Yeah, I
in
heard
right in his face. He was cool.
Blizzard was the ultimate troll that day.
That was awesome. Well, this week we're talking about Squishy and her
Yay.
interest in the game and how to help her struggle with learning everything she needs to learn in a matter of minutes and not getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Well,
so far,
speaking of which, how has this past week been for you, Squishy?
it's been great. I played the game, once this past week, so,
Well, and let me clarify. I told her, don't play too much yet. I said, let's go through this next week, give you some things to think about and to put into action going forward. Just play, we'll just do a little bit. And we actually we sat down and played a Brawl today, so she has an idea what Brawl is all about.
Yep.
So
Cool.
so she's been very, very little on Hearthstone this week, and that was by design.
Not mine. I was restrained.
Restrained.
Actually,
You
I was
pulled.
playing Guild Wars all week, so guilty there.
That's okay. Espo hadn't been playing Hearthstone either this week. So Espo, what about your week? What have you been doing?
All right, so let me see. Since last we spoke, I started playing Diablo 3. Rez got me the expansion Reaper of Souls, and I said, I'll start playing when the season starts. So I started a seasonal character, and less than a week later, I end up like almost 300 Paragon something or other, and like it's funny because loot will drop in the game, and and it links it in like guild chat or clan chat or party chat, whatever. I'm still oblivious to everything that's going on, and like I'll get messages from everybody. Like Maddie messaged me, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome! Don't trash that." I was like, "Okay." So I got Rez like in my ear, literally. We're talking on Mumble, and I got Maddie whispering me the same exact thing. They're both like, "Whoa, you should do this and resocket this and re-roll this and enchant that." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go do a podcast now. I'll do all that. I'll do all that later." So and then of course I'm like, not remembering what I'm supposed to be doing. I have no idea. So I don't know what I'm doing in the game, but it's been a lot of fun. Played a lot of Hearthstone too. Ended up, I think, at rank 9, 2 stars maybe. Just jumping around, basically playing quests this week. I kind of put Paladin on the side. I was running towards Golden Paladin, and I kind of put it on the side and just been doing some questing and tavern brawls, trying to get up in rank by playing different classes. So I played a Overload Shaman this week because I had the Shaman quest to win 5 games with a Shaman
Okay.
for like 60 gold or whatever. So I played Shaman quite a bit. Had the same quest as Druid, so played Druid quite a bit. More of a, I guess, like a ramp, control, cut, kind of mid-range Druid with the double combo mixed in there.
Well, it's good that you're
Um,
playing Druid, because I know that's not your favorite class.
yeah. Well, that's what this week. This week I kind of, I'm gonna start, you know, talking about this kind of stuff with Squishy here. So I wanted to make sure I brushed up on all the classes. So, but I mean, I still managed to get through that rank 10 wall. So I'm at 9 now, and yeah, I'm at about a 65% win rate. So I might get to 5 again this season, but I'm not gonna go crazy. And. So where are you, Vestidius? How was your week?
It's been a rough week when it comes to the Hearthstone, as Espo would say. I essentially played. I've been trying to really been playing one class deck. I've been playing the Reno Paladin Murloc deck because I've been enjoying that one, and I'm winning some and losing some. I'm about 50%. And so, unfortunately, what that means is that I'm sitting at 17, 18, not moving forward at all. But thankfully, this week on Wednesday, Brawl launched, and that's all I can say I've been doing since Wednesday. So I love this Brawl. This is my favorite one I've done in the longest time because it's so unpredictable. It's so crazy. And it may sound weird because I know most people know I'm a big mage fan. My favorite class to play in Brawl whenever everyone starts is Priest. That is my favorite class to play in Brawls because you get to steal stuff and you get to steal stuff and you even get to steal stuff like, take things from other players and stuff. Especially my favorite new card of the game. Not convert. What's the other one?
Are you talking about Entomb?
Yes, Entomb. Thank you.
Resurrect?
Entomb.
Oh, okay.
I love
Oh,
Entomb.
got one.
Wait, well, hold on. Wait a second. What just happened? Our, our new player, not casual player, our new player shouts out the card before I do.
Yep.
What?
You were just
Dreams being crushed. Dreams being crushed.
We were just playing earlier and got to use that quite a few times in her game that she was playing. But
yeah.
yeah, so I've been playing a lot with that, playing with the priest, having a great time with it. So, and I too have been playing a little Diablo 3 because I found that Espo got it and that they were playing it, and I was actually thinking about starting a seasonal as well. So I jumped in with them a little later. It didn't matter. Hour later, I was the same level as everybody else.
And
And then
dying right along with them.
yeah, dying learn. Yeah, the thing is though, playing with these guys, Espo kills me all the time.
What?
All the time. And he ends up having to resurrect me. But the first time this happened is I died and he's running around and he's like, what is this thing in the way? What is this thing? Oh, that's fastidious. You're dead. Oh, let me help you. I'm like,
I had no idea. I saw like these two sticks like, sticking out of the ground, and I'm like, what is this thing I can click on? This is cool. And then, well, no, what got me was I clicked on it, and I'm like doing whatever, and then all of a sudden, Vestidius pops out of it, and I was like, he was trapped in there, maybe. And then I realized,
yeah.
like a couple tenths of a second later, I was like, wait, that was his corpse, and I resurrected him.
Yes. So
Yeah,
unfortunately, my characters were, as not to use the term lightly, squishy, and I died frequently. So it's been a challenge. So, but I've been having a great time doing that too because it's just fun to play with friends because we're all on Mumble, chatting with each other, cheering each other on, encouraging each other when you get something crazy, and it's just been a lot of fun to play that way together. And you can't quite get that with Hearthstone. You can a little bit when you're on chat, but the speed and the pace that's going through that game is just so much more adrenaline pumping, I guess you would say at times, especially when you're on rank
it's
55
less
or
of a
whatever.
strategy game. So.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's been nice to switch back and forth between the two because I've been having a good time doing both. So I know
He
we don't want to
says-
talk too much about other games, but that's been a big thing of our week this week.
He says speed. We're running around, and all of a sudden he says, "Oh, that's it. I'm gonna roll a monk so I can be res." And then, like 5 seconds later, he has a level 1 monk. He's in our party, and then like
An hour.
literally 5 seconds later, he's level 10. An hour later, he's level 70 with like 8 paragons.
It was crazy.
Yeah, there you go. There's your monk. We're good.
Yes, we're good. Keep going.
So anyway.
Yeah.
Well, let's I'll tell you what, guys. Let's go ahead and let's do our top 3 because I'm excited about this. I'm thinking we might make this a weekly segment because you guys heard last week, if you're with us, Squishy is an artist and she streams her art on Twitch. And I thought this week our top 3 would be your favorite card art in the basic set.
Yep.
Yeah.
But neutral, basic neutral. So these are the cards, and I thought, and I was wrong, I thought Squishy already had all her heroes to level 10, so she would have all the basic, well no, my bad. You do have all the basic cards unlocked. It's the class specific cards that you have to unlock.
Right. Yes.
There we go. So you do have all the basic cards. So I was correct with my first assumption. So I was correct my first time, miscorrect second time, third time back to the first. Anyway, favorite card art in the neutral basics.
Yep.
So we'll start with, I'll tell you what, let's start with Vestidius, and then I'll say mine, and then we'll go to Squishy since she is the artist. I used to be an artist. Once you become an art teacher, you don't do art anymore. I don't know what happened to me. Well, I still get together and do some art. But anyway, we'll save the real artist for last. Go ahead, Vestidius.
Okay. Well, I went back and looked at these cards, and I was actually very unimpressed, honestly. Looking back through them going, these aren't the cool cards. These are just the run-of-the-mill ones that we have to use when we don't have anything else to play with. So, looking through them, I actually chose my card based on I kind of like to see this card show up on the board when I am in a situation where I don't have a whole lot of cards available to me. So I chose Booty Bay Bodyguard because he's cool. He's wearing a suit. And you can hire him until someone offers him enough gold to turn on you. So he
So
says on this card.
so you didn't choose it based on the card art?
No, it
I was
is
gonna
too.
say.
No, it is, yes. But I mean, he's got he's kind of like the maitre d' or the concierge.
Yeah.
He's reaching out to you, saying, "Hey, let me help you out here," and it's kind of a cool card because it's different from all the other ones out there that's in this set.
I agree, because looking at it, I was like, he's got a cool looking goblin. Like, you're like, if you were out, you wouldn't mind running into him. You'd be like, hey, check this guy out. He's pretty cool.
He's dapper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
so
out
that's
with
my
him,
choice.
hang out. He could probably get you in a lot of clubs.
Until he decides to turn on you because somebody else paid him.
Or they had a bigger club.
All
right,
a bigger.
So, oh my goodness, go out clubbing.
Oh dear.
Okay, so I'll start with the flavor text on mine. Don't bother asking her on a date. She'll shoot you down. And this is the Elven Archer. So this takes me back to the WoW TCG days. And I ran elves. I always ran a lot of elves and had a lot of fun with them. So this brought me back, and her card art's pretty cool. And I like elves. So there you go, Elven Archer.
Alrighty. Well, I went with the Ironforge Rifleman. And his saying thing is ready, aim, drink.
How appropriate for a dwarf.
I know, I was just going to say,
if it's
he is a
coffee,
dwarf.
I agree, but I just like the card art because to me it has a story to it, and a lot of these kind of don't. And this one is like it's interesting. It looks kind of like it's from like a clip of a movie or something. So I just thought it was very interesting storytelling there.
Which I didn't see until you said it.
Didn't see what.
There you go.
That it had a story to it and that it had that theatrical look to it. I mean, it just was just, a dwarf with a gun
Dwarf. Yep.
up to that point. But then you mentioned that, I'm like, oh, you're right. Wow, he does seem to have a story and like he's in the middle of something going on. So
And like there's one or two guys behind him. It's like, okay, it seems like he's on a quest or something, or I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe they're just playing in the snow.
All right, well, maybe. All right, so I'm excited because you guys already said you like this Tavern Brawl.
yes,
So this is a repeat. We've
said
seen
it.
this. Yeah, we'll get Squishy's opinion after. So in this week's Tavern Brawl, we see a repeat, but this is actually a repeat of a really, really cool one. When the reveal mechanic was unveiled, revealed, brought into the game, we had this Tavern Brawl come out not soon after, and it is Captain Blackheart's Treasure. The captain left treasure for everyone, but mostly for you. Each turn, open a chest of 3 random cards and choose one to put in your hand. So it's kind of like the tracking for hunters, where 3 cards pop up and you get to choose one. You actually don't choose these cards from your deck, though. Your deck is based, where your hero power is based on the hero that you choose. Your deck is the same no matter what hero you choose. When you go into this Tavern Brawl, you're going to choose a hero, and that's your hero power. It has nothing to do with your deck. It does have everything to do with the cards you choose, though, because you'll be choosing cards from that class. Your deck is actually 30 pirates. It's 30 of the, I think that's the Bloodsail Raider, the chick pirate that's 2 attack, 3 health. But she doesn't equip you a weapon, she doesn't add attack to herself according to the weapon you have equipped. She's just a vanilla, which means no text, 2/3 pirate. So you don't draw a card This is very important. You don't draw cards at the beginning of your turn. Um, you actually have three or four pirates in your hand to start with. Then you end up like 26 cards for the rest of the game, unless you draw a card, unless you have something that makes you draw a card. Um, so it's kind of cool because at the beginning of your turn, instead of drawing a card from your deck, you're actually choosing three out of just the random full collection. The cards that you're choosing from are from the entire collection, not just ones that are in your collection. So that's kind of cool too. Um, it's a fun mechanic, but it can be disappointing at times because you could get three um, really dull cards, and then it ends up being, you know, a long, drawn out game, or it can be over very, very quick. So Investidius had said it earlier. It's definitely, what was the word you used?
Uh, it was random. What was the word I used?
I can't remember.
I don't
You
remember.
said it perfect. Anyway, so I played a lot of this. I think I played about 20 or so. So I got like 15 wins. But Fell Reaver was an awesome.
I don't see why Fell Reaver's good because we had somebody play Fell Reaver against us when we were playing it.
Okay.
And what we ended up doing is playing several cards that drew through a whole bunch of cards and filled his deck. So then when he picked the next card, it doesn't go in your deck. His hand was full.
I don't know what you mean.
When you do the discover and you pick your card, it doesn't go into
Mhm.
his hand. It goes into his deck.
So he's just destroying pirates. Nothing besides that.
Yeah, he's destroying pirates, but we were putting so many cards down the board, he ended up having a lot of pirates being destroyed, and we were able to remove the Fell Reaver fairly quickly.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you you played Fell Reaver,
No, the opponent
and
did.
oh, so
Yes.
he was the lucky guy.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Fell Reaver's amazing. Like I love getting Fell Reaver
I
because
don't
they
know
play
why, because he ended
well
up
because
burning
I,
a bunch of cards and
but
filling his hand.
you're only burning pirates.
Yeah, you're burning pirates. Well, actually, it burns
So
them. It doesn't even put them in your hand. That's right. Take it back. Never mind.
yeah, so what happens is the reason why I think it's so great is because you're not normally drawing cards, right? You're choosing cards probably that aren't cycling because you're not worried about drawing those pirates. So you have 26 cards in your deck,
Yeah. So I
which
get it. I
which
see now.
so basically go ahead burn my cards. I'm not using them anyway.
Yeah.
So it's basically just fuel. Um, and then you have an 8/8 on the board that is kind of hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
So
Well, especially when they put +4/+4 on it because he was a paladin.
yeah. So
You're
I
like,
really like that.
oh, that hurts.
And shout out to Nightfall because him and I were talking about it, and he said he likes it when he gets Varian Rin because Varian Rin is guaranteed to put three minions on the board. Yeah, they're only two threes, but it's three minions. So
Yeah.
on turn 10, you're getting Varian Rin and three pirates. So kind of cool. But yeah, Squishy, you
Yeah.
played. What'd you think?
I thought it was very interesting. You do kind of have to know the cards and which cards to use with what. So if you're planning, okay, I can use this eventually. It's like, okay, what do I use until then or whatnot. So I think I will enjoy it once I know it a little bit better. But I thought it was pretty fun. I just didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, and that was one of the hard parts for her when we're playing is that you get three cards in front of you that you need to pick fairly quickly. You can't sit there and take a turn like Espo does when he's playing on his dial-up. At times, I'm kidding. But you got to really decide what cards you want. And if you haven't seen most of these cards that come up, you got to read the text and then decide which one's a better card. And will one of these cards work in the situation that the board is in right now that I could actually eliminate some of my opponent's minions? That this would actually be perfect for that situation, or is this a card I can use later in the game that's going to help me? And there's just so many decisions you have to make in a really fast amount of time that it is Very difficult for new players, in my opinion.
Especially if you get the, what was it? Nose door something.
You got it, Nose Dormu.
Yeah, nose
Yeah,
door.
good job.
And she
Yeah,
picked
that
it.
one. Yeah, I picked it, but I never ended up using it, which was a bummer.
Yeah, that
I
would have
think
been crazy.
I think I
Yeah,
won before that, or did I die before that?
I think you died before you could play it. But
I think so.
that's the other thing I wanted to say about this whole brawl is that the problem I have with it at times is you get legend, um, not phobia, but you don't want not to pick the legendary card because
you
sometimes the
get
legendary card is not the right pick,
Mm.
but it's such a cool card and such a fun card. It's like I want that card, but it costs 10. It's or it's Deathwing. I want that card. I want it, but it's turn 2. I'm not going to be able to play that card for 8 turns, and there's so
Yep.
many things I can do before that. But I pick Deathwing anyways, of course, because I have to.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's the other thing about this is that it's really challenging to restrain yourself from picking the wrong cards.
you
Yep.
get legendary fever,
Yes,
and
that's the
I'm
what I was trying to think, say.
I'm sure Squishy's gonna feel it because she doesn't have all the legendaries that we're used to seeing. So she sees those legendaries pop up. She's gonna be like, "Oh man, Karen Bloodhoof, I gotta take him." Meanwhile, something
Karen.
like that. Karen.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm like going, Karen. Who's Karen? Is that Karn Bloodhoof's wife?
Jeez. Okay, so touche. All right.
Moving on.
Um, so yeah, it's fun. It's interesting. Um, Lots of cool things going on. Surprising that you chose Priest. I like that though. I'm gonna have to jump in and play a few with Priest before it goes out on Sunday.
I
Um,
think it's just the thing I like to do with most of the brawls because of the ability because I know I can steal my opponent's cards a lot of the time with thought steal, mind games. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that I can take advantage of cards that my opponent's going to get and use them against him, even if the brawl may not even work that way.
oh, okay, okay, okay.
Some
Because
brawls
I
don't
was
get
gonna
that way.
say you're you're using Thought Steal to steal all those pirates.
Yeah, not in this case. It's not very good for thought steal. Yes, and that's the
That's
other
like
thing about
my
this brawl that you really need to know about. As you're going through and you're looking at your cards, you got the 3 choices in front of you. There are certain cards you don't want to pick, like cards that draw, draw, and draw, because all you're going to do is get a whole bunch of pirates.
Hmm.
So you
or
need to,
Reno.
or
Don't
Reno.
choose Reno.
So those types of things you just kind of got to be careful with. Yeah, Reno is horrible in this deck or in this brawl. And I was telling Squishy as we're going through these cards, it's okay. That card's horrible for this brawl because of this reason. And it was a good educational moment to go through as we were going through it. Think about what you have in front of you and how that could be a bad situation in this type of thing with a whole bunch of pirate cards. Okay, I'm talking too
Yeah.
much.
You're fine, dude. You're good. You're good because I'm gonna be talking for a while. So you need it out.
I just
All
smell
right,
the
so there you are.
nod.
So, speaking of you being there, how are you feeling with being a new player and having all these cards in the collection but not in your collection?
Well, I don't know how many there are necessarily, because I'm just like, it's a lot of cards that I'm looking at, and it's so much to take in. So I can only do, so much Hearthstone at a time before I get a little overwhelmed. Because, you have to, they're all new, you have to read them all, they do different things, and then you play one, and you're like, oh, did that say Death Rattle or Battle Cry? So, but,
Yeah, overwhelmed is a feeling that I think everybody has when they're a new
In
player.
fact, you put that in the show notes. Feeling
That's right.
overwhelmed. How about that?
I did.
What
I
a
did.
convenience
Yeah.
there.
That's right. Well, I'm gonna go through 4 things that I think might help maybe cull that feeling of being overwhelmed, and of course, help you on your way to gaining more cards. You're familiar with questing. Each day,
yes.
you gain a quest. Well, here are some tips for you when you're questing. as you know, there are quests that give you different ranges of gold and a pack.
Mhm.
What I would suggest in order to gain 50 or more gold a day, and this is just an average, um, and that's if even if you don't play every day. I would say never complete any of the gold quests, the 40 gold quests. Those are, I wouldn't do those. When you get a 40 gold quest, I would go ahead and I would re-roll it. Are you familiar with that? You got the little red X you can
Yep.
click on. If you see a 40 gold quest, click on it. Click. Don't click on it. Click the X and try to. But if you end up getting another 40 gold quest, just leave it. Don't
Okay.
don't try to finish it. Just leave it.
Today she
And
has 340 gold quests.
Yes.
okay, so there we go.
So
So
she
what
asked
you're
me,
going
should I remove these?
Because I saw in the show notes something about
well,
40.
I said
well,
no.
yeah. Well, you would go ahead and you would if you have three, you don't want to lose a day of questing because that's what'll happen. So you finish one of them, and I would suggest finishing one that you're familiar with the class. So maybe the rogue one. Go ahead and finish that. Um, that way, tomorrow you'll get another quest pop up, but remember you'll be able to re-roll the other two 40s if if the third one isn't a 40.
Now,
Now,
okay, so when I have Hearthstone pulled up here, and I have completed a quest today that was a 40. And so that slot is gone, it's empty. So you're saying that
Mhm.
if I hit the X, it will pull up a new one, correct?
If
As
the
opposed,
X is available on a 40, hit it
okay. And how many
yeah,
times a day can you do that?
just once.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Yep.
There
what
we go.
what did you get in return?
Watch and learn.
There you
Ooh,
go. See, so watch and learn is what I was going to talk about next.
Perfect
Always
segue.
do.
thank you, Blizzard.
Man, Blizzard, it's almost like Blizzard is listening and hanging out with us. Okay, so you always want to do the 7-win one because that one is super easy. That one and the watch and learn. Now, you're probably thinking 7 wins. How can that be easy for a person with no cards in their collection? Ah, here's a tip. If you notice on the 7-win one, you don't have to do that in play mode. You can do that in any mode, even with your friends.
Mm.
So you can get on your friends list. You could say, "Hey, listen, let's do some fun matches," but at the end, maybe let me win because it's 100 gold. And then, of course, what you just gained, the watch and learn. So both of those are worth a pack or 100 gold. Now, I would suggest that when you do finish that 7-win one, don't buy a pack with that 100 gold. And I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. But definitely open up that other pack from the watch and learn quest. So, and I would say choose somebody to watch that isn't playing Reno because that'll take forever and you just want to just spectate and walk away. Okay, so the second piece of advice I have for you, Tavern Brawl, free pack every week. Don't miss it. Done. There we go. And actually, it's a lot of fun. And like Vesidia said earlier, you're gonna learn because some of these Tavern Brawls give you random cards, give you cards from the entire collection. So like Arena, you're gonna get to play with cards that you don't have in your collection, which is definitely a good thing because you're learning.
Like dragons. I like dragon cards.
There you go. And what we maybe should do is maybe we should try to get you working towards a Dragon Priest deck, or Rez, I think, made a really cool Dragon Warrior deck. But we could build Dragon Hunter, Dragon Rogue. We could do it.
I'm getting all
So
excited. That sounds awesome.
I
Because, I mean, like, with the Tavern Brawl, pops up a dragon. I'm like, ooh, pick that one.
You know what
But
she got
again,
in her Tavern Brawl? She got
Malagos.
This is one game. Nozdormu, Nefarian, and she almost picked Onyxia in the same game.
Wow, that's awesome. Those are 3 dragons for sure.
and then
All right.
did we entomb one or no?
We entombed Chromagus. So it was Dragon Feast.
I was getting all excited.
Nice. Very cool. All right, so moving on from dragons, we have the third thing I want to talk about, which actually includes a lot of dragons, so you'll really like this one. Save your gold for adventures. As soon as you get 100 gold, don't buy it back. Save it.
But
Buy
it
those
seems like it's such a long ways off.
Yes, it may seem like a long ways off. I'm so happy that you're reading the show notes.
But here's the thing. What did we do tonight?
What? Oh, we bought a pack.
Because you know what? Somebody didn't read the show notes and
look at that.
suggested that maybe you should open the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's. I would say when you're really feeling down and you feel like the weight is not it's not worth it. Go ahead and buy a pack. I mean, but you really should be working towards those adventures.
Yes.
Max Remus has an amazing amount of awesome cards. You'll see Sludge Belcher, Mad Scientist, used to be Undertaker, but
did he die?
Rip Undertaker. No, he got nerfed. But Naxxramas has an amazing amount of fun cards in it too, like KT and some other fun things going on. So adventures like Naxxramas, Blackrock Mountain, and our newest one, Elevex, or League of Explorers.
Or LOE.
And I would really think about doing, since you want dragons, do Blackrock Mountain first, because that's where you'll get all your, not all of them, but you'll get a lot of dragons in there, and it will be worth it. So that's definitely something that you should be working towards, unlocking those wings in Blackrock Mountain. Some people say that Blackrock Mountain wasn't worth it, but for you, it'll definitely be worth it because you get all those dragons.
Yep.
And you may think, I got to beat all these bosses to get all these cards. I got to beat these encounters to get these cards, but all I have is basic cards. Well, Google is your friend. You'll hear a lot of people throwing around the phrase net decking. And for these adventures, for the bosses and encounters, everyone has put online, and I'm serious, you will find probably close to hundreds of basic decks made just for defeating these bosses and encounters.
Yes.
So you can do it. Will it take you a little bit longer? Maybe, but really they're tuned so that after a few tries, you're going to get it. Like I think Blizzard kind of pushes that. They're like, okay, let's push the button. Let's give it to her. So do those adventures, get those cards. And you know what? You'll have a lot of fun and you'll actually learn a lot too. One thing that Rez and I talked about so much when Naxxramas first came out was the fact that it teaches you how to build a deck according to a certain encounter or according to a certain way that your opponent is playing cards. So these adventures actually teach you to build decks, which is really, really cool. So they're threefold, twofold, threefold, fourfold maybe. You get fun, you get cards, you get to learn, and
dragons.
It's an easy way to get rid of your gold. So there you go.
Oh, I didn't realize you were supposed to get rid of it. Well, that changes things.
Yeah, there you go. you can't accumulate gold. You got to get rid of it. Yeah. Okay, so the fourth thing I want to talk about when building up your collection, and this is actually...
I'll say real quickly, whatever he says in this next line, just ignore all of it.
Oh my goodness. Dust all your golden cards.
No!
It's tough. It is tough because they're beautiful.
Yes.
Well, shouldn't you, keep your basic goldens? And
Okay,
if you get multiple goldens, dust those?
Okay, so that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
So, dust your basic goldens. You cannot dust basic cards because they're given to you by either gaining levels or um, by unlocking a
Achievements, I
class.
guess. Yep.
Unlocking a class. Basic cards are the ones without the gems. Common cards are what you're thinking. The common cards are the white gems in the middle.
Okay.
Um, let's say you get a knife juggler, and it's your only one, and it's golden, because I think that's where you're going with this. Um, it's your only one knife juggler. Amazing card when you first start the game. Actually, it's an amazing card
Quite a
in
ways
no
in.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so and you only have it in golden. Don't dust it
Okay.
until you get two of the regular ones. Then go ahead and dust that golden one. Make something else. Because honestly, you'll get a lot of mileage out of that card.
So
More so if you know.
it sounds like you're saying basically dust anything golden until like you've completed the game, so to speak, until you have like everything golden you can, and then just collect the goldens after.
That I mean that's my plan.
Yeah,
That's my
with
plan.
the limitation of if you have two cards, one's golden, don't dust it because you need two of every card.
Yes. But if you have two cards that are not golden and you get a golden, you're saying to dust the golden.
Yes.
Shouldn't you just wait and get two goldens?
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
Now here's
Yeah.
one thing too. If you never mind, because I was going to say I've actually deleted. So I had two goldens and I dusted my non-goldens, and then I ended up getting more of the regular ones again, which you'll get lots of them at some point, and you'll keep getting them back. And so I'm having to go back and dust those again over and over again. So I just finally gave up dusting everything. So
And
I keep everything.
speaking of crafting cards, so when you dust cards, it gives you dust, and you use that dust to craft cards. My suggestion would be try to complete your common collection.
Okay.
These are cards that they're going to be the base of your deck. You're going to be needing these most of the time. Either it's going to be for a fun deck or for a profitable deck to complete a quest. But either way, these common cards valuable in the long run. You'll use them in almost every deck, especially the neutral cards, because neutrals you can use in any deck, whereas class commons you can only use with that class. So neutral commons first, then your favorite class commons next, in my opinion. Again, this is just my advice. This is Espo's advice. It's not set in stone. This is, but this is the way I did it, and I feel like maybe it helped. Um,
Let me say real
so,
quick, I get it. I hate dusting golden cards because I just love the card art and the animation. But when you're starting out, Espo is right. You should go take advantage of those golden cards, because the reason we're saying that is because you get twice as much dust back for dusting that golden card than you would dusting a regular version of it.
And with that dust, you can create better cards.
You can create more of the common cards you need to survive and to build really good decks.
Okay, and
So
that brings me to a point of being a new beginner. It seems like you never have enough cards or the right cards or everybody else has better cards. So it feels like you're just kind of struggling to get on your feet at the beginning, and you're just hoping it gets better from there.
yeah, you're kind of sometimes you'll feel like you're running in place because you're like, I'm getting all these cards, but I'm not really getting anywhere. I'm not getting the right cards. You know, if you feel like that, get on Google, look at lists of some common or popular cards that maybe you should craft, and maybe dust some that you don't see a lot of on that list, and kind of tune to your playstyle, which you probably don't have a playstyle yet, but maybe tune to the class that you like, and that'll kind of waver that running in place.
Mm,
Does that kind of make sense?
I think so.
And that's kind of what you
Okay.
ended up doing, Espo, is you
Mhm.
originally focused on two classes and really pretty much dusted anything that wasn't part of those two classes. And at
Yeah.
today's standpoint, where you've played for quite a while, you have all those cards you dusted back. You've gotten them
Yeah.
again. It's not like you will never get them again. You'll eventually get them back, except for the Goldens, and you'll eventually have to craft those. But I think it is really cool way to get yourself an advantage a little bit further along is to do those dusting those golden cards and taking advantage of the extra bonus gold
Okay, then
or
here's another
dust.
question. Should I be focusing on only two classes at a time until I get to know them?
And, and again, this goes back to, this is my opinion. That's what anyone I talk to Hearthstone about, if they're new, I suggest that they concentrate on two classes. When I first started in the alpha, I concentrated on Hunter and I concentrated on Warlock. I basically, if it wasn't a neutral, a Hunter, or a Warlock card, I dusted it. Warrior, dust. I mean, even if it was an epic, I would go ahead and dust it. Speaking of epics, this is the trap that you might fall into. Legendaries and epics aren't always the best cards in the game.
Correct.
They may be the shiniest, but they aren't the best. Let's look at Junkbot. Junkbot's a great card, but that's a card you probably are only going to see in one kind of deck, a mech deck. So, you would probably want to dust that. Hey, that's a lot of dust. You could get a lot of commons out of that card, and maybe even fill out the end of your rogue commons, and then guess what? You have all the rogue commons now.
One thing I will say real quick, on your theme of playing just focusing on two classes, you may still want to go through and level each of the classes up to at least level 10, ideally level 20. But the reason for that is so you can get a feel for each of the classes and decide which one you like best. And then once you've decided what you like best, focus on those one or two classes.
Okay, but then here's another thing, is that as a new beginner player, you have to then learn all these cards and figure, it seems like you're thrown in and they're told just pick one. Just pick whatever you want and just go learn it and see if you like it. It's like, okay, well, now that I've learned this one, I don't want to change from it and have to go start all over again. And you do that like 9 times. And it's like, how many cards are there in this game? So, I mean, it's good and it's bad because it takes forever and it takes a lot of thinking, but you do have to know that kind of to move on in the game, you know?
Well, like I talked about last week, so you have this, and Blizzard does an amazing job of it. You have this tiered kind of leveling routine in every one of the Blizzard games where there's always a next achievement. There's always something else to strive for. I think with Hearthstone, it seems really daunting at first. So what you have to do is kind of just make your own little goals of, I'm going to get all the commons for this class. I'm going to learn this class. And in doing that, you're going to go into these matches and you're going to see other players playing cards. One piece of advice that I can give you is every match that you go into, pay attention to what cards your opponent's playing, how much their mana cost is. Pay attention to cards that are played a lot by other players, and cards that you see in your hand all the time that don't get played. And that'll kind of give you an idea of, okay, this is a popular card. This card wrecks me every time I see it. And that'll kind of, and I mean, even get maybe pencil and paper on it. I know you love the pencil and paper, so I'm sure it would be nothing for you to have a little sketch pad right next to your keyboard there. Sketch down like knife, juggler, muster for battle, wrecks me every time. Those are two cards that you may, and maybe you want to start playing Paladin. Kind of pay attention to those cards that your opponents are playing. But I wouldn't spread myself too thin. I would suggest two classes. I know it seems crazy right now because you're like, I don't even know any class. I don't know the classes. So like Vastidius said, maybe just go through and, play each class. Maybe pick a basic deck offline, net deck a basic deck that maybe people are talking about quite a bit. Play it with shaman, play the shaman basic deck, play the mage basic deck. Get all those classes to like level like 10 or 15. That way you'll learn those cards, and through that you'll be playing against people that are playing other classes, and you'll learn those cards. So, and I know this is a lot, but you'll get it. You seem like you're understanding it through your questions, so that's good. I'm very optimistic.
Yay.
Legend next month, I think.
I'll take a
All right.
legendary. Legendary's good.
Well, those are my 4 suggestions for building up your collection, and I think maybe we got you going. I think it was easy enough for you to understand. But if that wasn't enough talk about basic cards, I know this guy, and he makes YouTube videos. And he did a YouTube video back in December about basic cards. His name is Ben Brode.
I've
So,
heard that name. Is he like a singer or something?
he is. He's the lead singer for Hearthstone.
Yes.
So, in the hymns,
Hymns.
in the hymns and timps section this week, I just put a link to Designer Insights with Ben Brode, where he talks about why we have basic cards. Because in your trip through basic card heaven, hell, whatever you're in, you're gonna notice why is Magma Rager in here? Why is this card in here? And Ben Brode will explain it. So that's a really good video for people to watch, so that they understand why there are basic cards. And he goes into detail about the new player experience, and he also talks about the Warsong Commander nerf, which I'm sure, if you were listening to anything Hearthstone like 2 months ago, you heard about that. So yeah, that's our hints and tips this week.
Okay.
Ben Brode singing about basic cards.
Well, in our tournament section, we are talking about Blizzard they launched a Hearthstone tournament watch page where they're compiling a list of all the different Hearthstone tournaments. So if you're interested in watching tournaments, or if you're interested in actually participating, it's a great launch place to start. And in fact, this weekend, where we're recording on the 22nd of January, on the 23rd, they're actually having a kind of a kickoff thing where they're going through and hosting 8 different fireside gatherings tournaments in different regions of the country. And in those fireside gatherings, it's going to be 128 players playing in each of them. And the winners of those are going to go on to the preliminaries in the winter season and play for a chance to go to BlizzCon. So, kind of fun way to kind of kick the whole thing off.
Yeah, I stumbled across that the other day, and I was like, "Whoa, this is kind of cool." I'm not big on the tournament scene. Well, I don't think we're casual, so we kind of don't really pay attention until the World Championships come around. But I know a lot of our listeners are into tournament watching and tournament attending, so that might be a good place for you to go and check some stuff out tournament wise. And
Tuesday Night Hype.
That's right. Yeah, one of our good friends, Brandon over at Vicious Syndicate, does the Tuesday Night Hype, and I believe it actually bleeds over into Wednesday. So it's a big deal. And you also, it's
get
been
points.
Almost a year now that they've been giving World Championship points for that.
Yep.
So congratulations to those guys over there at Vicious Syndicate. They got a good thing going. Yeah. So, I feel like I've overwhelmed Squishy, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of take a back seat now, and just we'll continue next week with maybe some deck building stuff.
Yeah.
So
Sounds good.
So I'm gonna call it quits here.
Well, then let's kind of start wrapping things up. But before we do, we're going to talk about emails. And iTunes reviews. Because we actually got 2 reviews this week. Woohoo! So one of them is from Nose for Atu, I guess. He says,
Nosferatu. Interesting.
so he said that they care about the casual, and that's good. He says, love the show. Been listening since I started playing Hearthstone. I always learn something new. Great move with adding a new host, Squishy Dragon, who has just started playing. The problems she faces reminds me of when I started, just hoping I could get past level 20 and trying to build a decent deck with basics and a few other cards. Can't wait to hear more.
Sounds familiar.
Yes, and then we had Zargon0225. He says, great show, great host, great fun. I've been a listener for 6 months now. I've listened back through episode 60 through today and cannot get enough of the show. I think you guys are great hosts and fun people. Thank you for not talking down to new players. I love to recommend the show. And he says he's been playing games, collectible card games for about 20 years. And he's really enjoying Hearthstone. He enjoys the show that caters to new players. I like to play for fun more than I like to play competitively, which is what your show's all about. Thank you so much for bringing even more life to a great game. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good job, Team LOTI.
Hey, I like this guy. So we are recording on a different night tonight for those of you listening on iTunes. And last night, which is normally our recording time, I was on Twitch doing just a little bit of a stream just to appease the listeners that are used to getting on Twitch on Thursday nights. And Zargan was in the Twitch chat, and I believe he might have even been in there tonight.
He was for a little while.
Oh, cool.
In fact, he's still there.
He said that he gave us an iTunes review, and I was like, oh, man. So I went out and looked for it, but I only found Nosferatu's. I didn't find his, but there you go. So, Zargan, thank you very much. Nosferatu, thank you very much. We definitely appreciate it.
We also did get an email this week, and I like this one because it was awesome right after Squishy started her first show. And it was from Steph Buckle. And he said, hey guys, I love the show. Been listening for a while now, and I think it's a great show, and welcome Squishy. His question is this. I have been playing for about 7 to 8 seasons now, and I feel like I'm stuck. Every month I wait a bit for all the good players to level up and then start my climb. I've invested a bit in the game, I've done all the adventures, bought the Feast of Wintervale pack during a moment of weakness, with too much eggnog at Christmas. So I have quite a few cards and about 6 to 10 legendaries. He's been trying out a bunch of different decks. He understands deck mechanics, but no joy. So I'm frustrated by the one win, one loss nature of the ladder that I've just made a Murloc Face Priest and slid down to level 20 in world record time. Please help. Espo.
What do you look to me?
Can you explain a Murloc Face Priest? Really?
Yeah. So
Well,
what happens here? So when he says he slides down to level 20 in world record time, from level 17, he's going the wrong way. That is the wrong way. But okay,
haven't you done that though from like level 12?
Oh yeah, I went from 12 to 20 in world record time before, and I think it might have been with something close to Murloc Face Priest, except mine was like a mech Face Priest. But Steph Buckle, this is tough, man, because it's tough to break through that 17 mark. I believe
it's tough to break through the 13 mark. And then it's tough to break through the 10.
It's tough to break through the 20.
My point being is that there's always some challenge.
It is, and you understand the mechanics. You have a decent collection. If you're running Oil Rogue and Mid-Range Druid and Control Priest, then you definitely know how to play the game. Here's one suggestion I have. And I never did this, but I think this would be a good thing to do. Get on Twitch and watch some pros play these decks. Get on YouTube and watch some pros play these decks. And maybe there's something you're missing because it seems like you're doing everything correctly. You're waiting, a little bit, because if you try to go from rank 20 from the first day, you're going to run into legendary players. You're going to run into players that have been playing the game for a very long time. Um, Rank 17 is a place where everybody starts that has been rank 5 or higher. So if you're at rank 17, then you might be running into those people that are starting a little bit late, but were at rank 5.
Mm.
So my suggestion would be get on YouTube, maybe watch some professional players, watch players play these decks, and maybe you'll see a few things that'll help you, with getting over that hump. I would say play more. I mean, honestly, like the 1 month that I finally broke rank 10 was when I was going for my um, Golden Hunter. I was going for my Golden Hunter, and I was amazed at my win percentage, but it was after I had played probably 50 some games. Um, Not in a day, but within a week. Like I was playing a lot. And that I think that was what got me over that hump. You just and honestly, I would play one deck. I would concentrate on that one deck.
Yeah.
I would learn the ins and outs of that deck like none other. And if you're playing Oil Rogue, Midrange Druid, Control Priest, Burst Shaman, Midrange Paladin, if you're playing those yourself, then you know those decks. So I would concentrate on one deck, go into the ladder, carve out yourself some time. Get some coffee, get a comfortable seat, or stand at your desk like I am, but plan on being there for a while. Get yourself maybe a box of Mike and Ike, and some coffee, and just plan on camping out for a while, because I think that's what really bumped me over those roadblocks like you have at rank 17.
So you
So
heard it here. Mike and Ike's will get you legend.
no, that won't get you legend, but that'll break you through. This is what gets you legend. The red
Ah,
hots.
yes, Red Hots.
Red hots get legend. I don't know. Yeah,
Well,
candy
to build
from.
off of that, I will say too, keep in mind that some of these decks that you mentioned are being used a lot last season, and that people have played a lot of games against those decks and have learned ways to counter them, or have built decks that are really anti-oil rogue or anti-mid-range druid, and because there's been so many of them. So if you're getting a deck from last season's list, it may be out of the ability for it to actually succeed at times, and that you may be better off, kind of like Espo said, watching some of the players that are streaming right now that are having success, and maybe use some of the decks that they are using, because they usually have a list of the deck that they're playing. So take some of those decks that are current in the meta and try and play with some of those, and stick with one deck like Espo said.
And I will say this too. So it's been a while since I've been in that rank 20-ish to rank 16-ish, because at the beginning of the season I'll start at 17, and I don't know how, but I'll just slide straight down to 14. And then I kind of start running into a little bit of trouble. So that rank 17 to 21, 22 is very strange, because you'll get a lot of people that will be throwing out cards that you're like, what in the world? I know Rez and I will get in Mumble, and we'll be playing ladder, and we'll be spectating each other, helping each other out. And that's another suggestion too. Maybe get four eyes on it. Get in, a chat with somebody, voice chat with one of your friends on Skype or on FaceTime, and talk through the plays with them, switching back and forth. You play a game with them spectating, they play a game with you spectating. But Rez and I would notice that that early rank later in the month, like that 22 to 17 late in the month, is like you never know what you're gonna see.
Free for all.
You'll see Nosdormu, you'll see Abomination. You'll see all these cards that you don't normally see, and then they pop out KT, and you're like, oh man, what in the world, So it's tough going. Um, to end this email, because I know we have to move on, I will say, carve out a block of time for you and one deck, and just go at it.
And I like your idea about having a friend play together. That helps too. Because there's times when you don't see something that your friend will see. Great. Okay. Way to go. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to go on to a Twitter tweet that we have here. Hey now. So Twitter from Christopher at XMCTB Gamer. And sorry, S was having a joking fit there. It said, made my second custom deck. It's a paladin made of early level cards. I named it Espoladin. Espoaladin. Something like that. Are you okay?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
I
Yeah,
felt
I
bad
had
because
to-
I'm just sitting here
had to put-
laughing hysterically as he's like dying.
Had to put my hands above my head. Hands above your head. Deep breath. All right. Okay.
So we have a new paladin deck. It's called Espoaladin.
Yeah, you guys didn't know
Dang it.
about this?
No.
Yeah. Yep.
Because
That's
see, it
right,
went to
my man.
you. It didn't go to me.
My man Christopher. Yeah, so last week I did say that they could go ahead and do the at XCMTB Gamer along with LOTI podcast because it's just a little bit easier for us to check that. So, we will choose one that is our favorite. And obviously this is my favorite. I mean, he named the deck after me.
Of course.
I mean, how could I not choose this one?
Someday there may be a squishy dragon Aladdin.
A squishy dragon
Ooh.
priest. Or
I
a
like
Squishy.
that. I like it.
Dragon priest? Squishy dragon priest?
All right. So, I thank you, Vestidius, for covering for me with that. Twitter.
My pleasure.
All right. So, Facebook shout out this week goes out to looks like Johan.
Mhm.
So, Johan says, "Thank you for another great episode. I'm just as new to the game as Squishy, so I really appreciate the newbie focus." And we said this at the end of last year that we were going to start 2016 with a focus on new players, get back to our casual players, because I feel like that's who we are. We have been there, we've done that, and we know what it's like to be a new player. And it just so happens that Arielman's off with her career, and she is doing great things with her trying to move into her career, and Squishy stepped in, and this is perfect. So timing's perfect, everything's working out, and Johan agrees. So, thank you.
Well, this week we did want to also throw a couple more patron shout outs. These are people who are some of our early supporters on our Patreon page. And if you want to do that as well, it's patreon.com/Legend of the Innkeeper. And this week we want to give a big thanks and shout out for Luftschrift. That's easy for me to say.
Hey, you did good, I think.
Tenoio, Spitka, BB Scott, and Net Jackal. These guys have been around for a long time and just love having these guys helping us out, and they're hanging out with us in the Facebook group as well, and we just appreciate you guys and what you're doing for us. So last thing we need to do is, I think somebody has 2 packs that they were going to open to
That's
see
right.
if there might be any legendaries in them.
This is true. Since, I just did one against better judgment. So,
So you're going to share your screen?
working on it. There we go.
All
Yeah.
right, so I will say this is before I suggested that she save her gold. This is,
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me.
it's
Get this up.
all good.
So she.
It is
There we
all
go.
good.
Okay, we good?
All right.
We ready?
Yes, ready.
Great.
So we got a common pack for those of you that are not in our Twitch chat. This is common pack. Heroes of the Storm card back. I approve.
Yes. Okay. We got Stranglethorn Tiger. Is a 5 cost and 5/5. And Stealth.
It's
So,
a beast.
it is a beast, yes. Okay, next we have the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, which is 3 cost, 2 attack, 3 health. Whenever a minion dies, gain 1 attack, plus 1 attack.
Okay.
Okay, next one, Cult Master. 4 cost, 4 attack, 2 health. Whenever one of your other minions dies, draw a card. Then we have Druid of the Claw. Choose 1, charge, or 2+ health and taunt. What would you guys choose?
It depends.
A
Most of the
lot
time,
of the
taunt.
Yeah, so what you do is you choose taunt if it's kind of early game, but this can also work well with Savage Roar, which gives all your minions +2 attack. So you could choose the taunt in this guy and then throw down Savage Roar, and you could do 8 damage with just that card and your hero power. Or not even your hero power, just your hero. Because it gives Savage Roar gives all characters +2. So he would be doing 6 damage if you choose the charge because the Savage Roar gives him +2, and then it gives your hero +2.
Okay.
So, but that would be an 8 mana combo. So it's a little.
A little bit up there. Okay, last one for this deck, or pack. Upgrade. 1 cost, if you have a weapon, give it +1/+1, otherwise equip a 1/3 weapon. So.
Okay.
Yay, on to the next one. And this is a Grand Tournament pack.
Yes.
There you go. I wasn't going to tell you.
Flower petals, that's cool. First time opening one of these. I've done,
Ooh.
I've done, basic ones so far. So let's see. We got Fearsome Doomguard.
He's
7
fearsome.
cost. Yeah, he is fearsome. 6 attack, 8 health.
And he's a demon.
He is a demon. Okay, then we have Argent Watchman. 2 cost, 2 attack, 4 health. It's cool looking. Okay, then we have Ice Ranger. 3 cost, 5 attack, 2 health.
Actually, he's an ice rager.
Well, okay, we'll go with that. We'll pretend, that he's correct in this instance. No, I'm kidding. Okay, next one.
Ooh.
An epic.
Epic. There you have it. 6 cost, Sea Reaver. 6 attack, 7 health.
Read the text on that one.
Read the text. Oh, you're right. I missed that. My bad. When you draw this, deal 1 damage to your minions.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what we thought when we read that text. Like, why? But notice what
Again,
class it's for.
It is for a warrior.
Yeah.
Well, and this also goes back to when I said, not all epics and legendaries are incredible cards. Will this card work? Yeah, it'll work in maybe an enraged deck where you're basically building your deck around that dealing damage to minions to buff their attack. Just like I mentioned with Junkbot, it's a card that you're only going to probably use in like 1 or 2 decks. Very specific. So you'll probably want to dust it to get those other cards. Now, if you already have a bunch of cards, your collection's really stout, keep them. You might build a fun deck with your one friend and be able to do some cool stuff. I'm not saying you only have one friend. I'm saying like me. Oh, jeez. Oh, never mind.
I was going to say, what are you saying here, Espo?
That came out wrong.
Okay, well, last card is another Fearsome Doomguard, which is, again, 7 cost, 6 attack, 8 health. Demon.
So now you've got your 2 Fearsome Doom cards.
So going back to the Argent Watchman, I did not read the text on that, which is can't attack. Inspire, can attack as normal this turn.
Do you remember what Inspire does?
Yes, it does something after you use your hero power.
Awesome.
And it helps if you hover for the card to read that.
Now, I will say this. With Inspire on this guy, this will not give him charge. He still will have summoning sickness when you play him. So you can't play him on turn 4 and then hero power right afterwards and attack with him. He doesn't have charge. Only charge minions can do that. Only minions that you give charge to can do that. So
So you have to
don't play him. Yeah, don't play him and then hero power and think you're going to attack with him, because he will still have summoning sickness.
Okay. So
Okay.
that is it for
Well,
me.
some decent packs, but no legendaries.
No legendaries
You
and
did get
no
an-
dragons.
You did get an epic though.
That's
Which I would suggest to dust.
Yes. And stop sharing your screen. There we go.
There we go. Awesome.
Alrighty.
Well, awesome. Well, that wraps us up for this week. And next week we'll continue on with a little bit more basic training, so to speak. So if you want to check out what the show notes, we've got a bunch of stuff in there. You can come to our website at legendofthe.innkeeper.com. And if you want to see what's going on with us with Patreon, you can support us through that at patreon.com/legendofthe-innkeeper. And you can follow us on LOTI Podcasts. And if you want to check out Squishy's stream, she does her stream on Twitch every day, Monday through Thursday, starting about 3 p.m. Central Time. And you can find that at twitch.tv/SquishyDragon, DRAGN. There's no O in Dragon for Twitch. But that'll be in the show notes, so you can find that on our website.
And it is streaming art, not Hearthstone. So
Correct, yes. Yeah, and she's doing traditional art in most cases. A lot of crazy stuff sometimes.
Yep. So we
Okay.
thank you for listening to How to Train Your Squishy Dragon.
Nice.
I like that. I
That's
like
pretty
that.
cool.
I think that's
Show title.
show title right there. So now you started something. Now you realize you're going to have to give us a show title each week.
Oh, I can do that. It may not be relevant, but I can do that.
All right.
Are they ever relevant sometimes?
Well, that one was. We'll
Yes,
see
it
if I can
was.
keep it up.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Good job, team.
Done. Good work.
Awesome.
Oh, I almost drowned.
I felt so bad. I was just dying laughing. I'm like, you're dying. And I'm over here just cracking up.
I was like, I got to put my hands in the air. Oh my goodness. Gonna die.
And Dad's over there trying to struggle through it. And I'm like, I'd say something to help, but I can't stop laughing. I feel so bad.
Well, I wasn't sure if you were actually choking or not, and because I have my notes over the screen somewhat, it's covering you, so I kind of saw it on the side of my screen. I'm like, is he choking? So I had to move my notes. I'm like, yeah, he's having some issues.
He's having some issues. Oh, jeez. Good show, guys.
Yeah, that was really well.
That was cool. I felt like I talked too much, but I, of course, think I always talk too much. So.
No, I think you're fine. You're kind of our teacher, sensei, when it comes to Hearthstone, so.
About that. I like how you threw that email at me. You're like, Espo? It's like, oh, okay. I did not read that beforehand. Oh.
Oh.
I think I just misplayed.
Oh, that's one I should throw at you.
I hope I handled it okay.
Oh, yeah, you did fine.
But
no, it was great. Good stuff. As we got to the bottom here, I started realizing we haven't edited.
So, yeah. But good stuff. I'm excited. I think we got a good year ahead of us. Really cool.
I'm still waiting for Legendary. I thought I'd have one by now. I thought it was gonna be like, boom.
Oh, good.
That epic was close. And that's cool because that epic will get you a lot of dust. So you'll be able to get some really cool cards with that.
Yeah.
But awesome.
Just adding in the notes, putting her stream in here.
I'm just scrolling
Catching up.
back. And Zeroshio says it's okay. He's only dying.
Yes.
You're used to that in Diablo anyway, so.
Well, That's right. Well, earlier I had burnt my tonsils on my coffee. It was so hot, and I didn't let it touch my tongue. I just shoved it all the way back down my throat, burnt my tonsils off. And then I started choking on water. I was like, I'm just gonna die.
You need to not drink anything during the show.
Yeah.
And then you'll just be like rasping through it.
Goodness. Yeah, I had to drink something. I spoke a little bit too much, but yeah, I definitely think saving for adventures is the way to go. I mean,
Yeah.
and those adventures, oh my goodness, like I remember when Naxxramas first came out, and I know I said this during the show, but I can't say it enough. Like it just teaches you how to overcome problems. Like these guys on ladder, they're running into these issues with, oh man, I hit mysterious challenger every time. Well, you know what, try to build a deck that kind of counters that. Yeah, you're going to run into other decks that aren't mysterious challenger, but man, how satisfying is it when you build a deck to counter mysterious challenger, and then guess what, you actually end up playing against the mysterious challenger in a game and you actually beat him. You've succeeded. You've met your goal. You've accomplished something. And that's where these adventures succeed.
Mhm.
They set you up to accomplish a really cool goal, a really cool encounter. It's I love what Blizzard has done with these adventures, and I think they teach so much, which is good. So, because the tutorial can only do so much. I mean,
Don't get me
it's
started on the tutorial.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
it's like they
she's not
just
a.
throw you in there and they're like, pick something and then we'll tell you why you failed. It's like
yes, yeah.
what's with that? You can't
Uh,
just do that.
I think I may make another account, which will be probably like my fourth account, and I may go ahead and do the tutorial again because I think that would just be that would I need to do that. I need to do that again.
Eye-opening, I think is the term you're looking for.
There
An
we go.
eye-opening experience.
Because it's been a while since I've done that. So
Well, okay then. I'm gonna kick us off here, and we're gonna wrap up for tonight. It's a little later than we normally would have done, so we appreciate all you guys hanging out with us in chat. It's been kind of fun.
Hmm.
It's
definitely,
got some new
definitely.
faces in there too.
Oh, we're on a different night now, and then I
Yep.
think we're actually going to be talking about switching again to a different night. Tonight's just like a temporary thing, but um, we'll
Yeah, we'll figure
record
all that out.
next. Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay.
um,
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you hanging, and we'll chat with you guys later.
All right. See ya.